Happy Thursday, December 1st. So I'm not here today, but I will be back on Friday. Today is lesson 14. So for day 14, finding equations of the line given 2 points on the line. Let's make sure we have that out in front of us. Hit pause at any time during this video or rewind or fast forward. And it's going to be posted right here on our OneNote. Missing some of the Desmos line art. If you haven't already submitted it, please make sure you submit it down here in your name or send me an email over online. So our unit test is on Monday and Tuesday. Monday is going to be the multiple choice questions, and then Tuesday is going to be the long answer. Let's go ahead and dive right into finding equations of a line given 2 points. Now remember, the most important formula in grade 9 math is the slope and y-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And then we have our point slope formula that we talked about yesterday, having all the same things, right? There's no b, but we do make a b eventually. Like we do make this into this by some rearranging in those steps that we followed yesterday. All right. So if we're given 2 points now, right? If we're given 2 points, we need to use this really important formula. It's the formula for the slope. So the formula for the slope is y2 minus y1 is always the change in the x's. Oh, sorry, change in y is divided by your change in your x's. Don't mind the background music. But anyways, so yeah. So we got y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to substitute the slope into and either of the points. So we're going to figure out the slope first at step 1. And then step 2, we're going to sub in a point and the slope. You're going to pick any point you like, whichever point you like more, sub it into your point slope form, and then write the equation in the slope and y-intercept form. All right, so we have 2 points here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and find the slope. There's 2 different ways we can find the slope. One way is with the formula, and another way is, since it's on the graph, we can find it there too using the graph. All right, so what's the slope? How much are we rising? How much are we running? Well, let's go try to use it with the formula, and then I'll show you the easier way with the graph. All right, so which point do you want to be the second point? Okay, so there's 2 points here. You got to name one is the second one and is the first one. Let's go with this is the first one. So if the bottom one's the first one, we're going to name it x1, y1. See how they both are? This is the first point. It doesn't matter which one you choose, but this is my first point and this is my second point. Again, it doesn't matter which one you choose, but just make sure you label it. The formula says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now we literally go and find y2. What is y2? It's -2, so let's sub that in. Get -2 minus, and what's y1? Did I use the wrong one? Oh, I used the wrong one. That's y2. This is why you write these. y2 is not -2. It is 4. There we go. There's y2. It's 4. Okay, so there I found my mistake so quickly because I wrote those on top. And then y1. Okay, where's y1? Right here, it's -2. So that's what's going on for y1. -2. Yeah, 2 negatives. And then x2, what's x2? Oh, that's x1. Go up here. x2 is 3. And then what is x1? Oh, those are already taken, so it's got to be this one. This one's x1 is 1. Okay, so let's go figure out the slope. 4 minus -2. And we saw that we could just make this into one big plus sign here because 2 negatives give us a positive. So we get 6 over 2, which is 3. Our slope is 3. You can also see this here. How much do we rise between those 2 points? 4, 5. We rise 6. We rise 6 and we run 2. So slope is also equal to rise over run. We could have easily just saw that it was 6 over 2, which is 3. Hey, those are the same as they should be. It's the same slope. But let's go figure out the name. The name is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And we're going to use this equation and our slope to figure out what its name is. So y minus, and then we can pick the y1 that we have here. The y1 we have here is -2. So subtract -2 is equal to 3 bracket x. And x, what's our x1? We chose it to be 1. So we're subbing this in. This is step 1 was to do your slope. Step 2 is to input it into the the point slope form. And now we're going to use the steps from yesterday. So we change this to a plus, and then it jumps over and again becomes a negative over here. And then we're going to expand it, get 3x minus 3 minus 2, which gives us y equals 3x minus 5. That's it. That's the name. So that would be our step 3, is writing it in terms of our y equals mx plus b form. All right, you can press pause at any time. Let's go ahead and check out this question. So again, let's go name them x1, y1. Let's pick that one to be the first question or the first point. It doesn't really matter which one's the first point. Let's go find y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or go and find the slope using the graph. I'm going to do that too, just to make sure that they're both the same. Okay, so y2 here is -2. y1 here is 1, so -2 minus 1. So y2 is -2, so we do -2 minus, that minus stays there, and then we just subtract the 1. You can see that this minus sign is frozen, that doesn't change. Same with this minus sign right here, that doesn't change, but the x2 changes, that's a 3. Same with the x1. The x1 changes, that's a -3. So that's a double negative happening right there. Okay, so we have -2 minus 1, that's -3, and 3 minus -3, that's 3 plus 3, that's 6. So here we get -1 over 2 if we were to reduce it. Let's go check and see. Let's rise how many? 1, 2, 3. We're going to rise 3, and we're running to the left. If we're running to the left, that means it's going to be a negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have rise over run, which is our slope, is equal to 3 over -6. And hey, that's also -1/2. Doesn't matter where the negative goes. It could go on the top or the bottom. It's still showing 1/2. All right, let's go sub it in. That's the first step. Step 2 is to write it in terms of slope point form. There we go. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. What do we name as x1 and y1? Again, remember that this is not the first one in the point, it's the second one. Here it is. We named it as 1. So here's our 1 is right here. The slope we found is -1/2. X stays frozen, negative stays frozen, and what did we name as x1? We named it -3. Okay, let's go put a -3 in here. All right. There's our next step. We got to move this over. And what does it come? What does it become? Who's here today? Fiona, what does it become? -1. What does it become? I hope she said positive. 1. Awesome. Who else can help me out? Who else is going to help me out? Josh, can you help me out? What do we have to do next? All right, anybody like keep on going? What are you doing next? All right, that sounds great. Yeah, distribution, awesome work. So we get -1/2 x, and then we have -1/2 times 3. Well, that's actually just -3 over 2 plus 1, or -1.5. And then we're going to bring these two together. So if we have -1.5 and we add 1, you're at -$1.50, and you add $1, you're at -50 cents. All right, and what's -50 cents look like in math? It looks like -1/2. Awesome. Then we have one last question here. We're going to write the equation of the line given the x-intercept. So if x-intercept is -2, then this looks like -2, 0. And the y-intercept of 1, that looks like 0, 1. How? Because x-intercept is right here on the x, so there's no y's. And 1 is right here, there's no x's. Right, let's go ahead and solve. So we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, it doesn't matter which one is your first or second point. So this one's going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so we have 1 minus 0 over 0 minus -2. So 1 over double negative becomes a positive. Well, let's sub this into our equation. Just running out a little bit of time right now. But you can press pause at any time. Our y1 is 0. Our slope is 1/2 x minus -2. That leaves us with 1/2 x plus 2. Those double negatives become a positive. Then we have y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1/2 of 2 is just 1. There we are. We have our equation. All right, you have lots of questions on your homework, which is right here. Go ahead and try any 4 of them. Go ahead and try any 4 of them. All right, we also have the answers right on the bottom. Then I try like 8 and 10 and see like why those are, right, there's an undefined slope here and there is a 0 slope here. So go ahead and try like those 2 and maybe 2 or 3 more, okay? All right, take care. See you on Friday.